My dear husband, will you share my chamber? Very funny. Hey guys, and welcome back to another film review by TheClumsyJedi. Today I get to start reviewing one of my favorite genres of movies, Robin Hood. And I'm starting with the most recent, the 2010 Ridley Scott version of Robin Hood. It starred Russell Crowe, Cate Blanchett, Max von Sydow, William Hurt, Mark Strong, and Oscar Isaac. You might recognize two of those names that were both in episode 7 together, Oscar Isaac and Max von Sydow. So this particular version of Robin Hood shows Robin as Robin Longstride, an archer in the king's army. And when the king dies, him and his three companions, Alan a Dale, John Little, and Will Scarlet, all basically go AWOL, go disguised as knights back to England, where Robin ends up basically sort of taking the place of the dead crusader Robert Locksley. And to keep up appearances, he appears as the husband of Robert Locksley's widow. Anyway, it gets confusing. And in short, it's sort of an origin story of Robin Hood from the Ridley Scott point of view. This one is probably my least favorite representation of Robin Hood that I've seen yet. It was more medieval war movie than Robin Hood. The only two sequences in there that felt like Robin Hood were the sequence where grain that was headed for York was stolen back to plant in the fields of Nottingham Town, and the very, very last scene where we get to see Robin and the outlaws, who are now outlaws in Sherwood Forest. What I liked most about this particular version of Robin Hood was the cinematography. It had some really, really nice shots. One of them following an arrow as it went on an arc down a beach headed toward the bad guy. Of course, I love the archery. I can't get enough of archery. I adore archery. I'm a humongous archery fan. Robin Hood's what got me into archery in the first place, so love the archery. What I disliked most was the blood, the skin, and it just wasn't fun like the other Robin Hood movies are. I blame it on the Nolan version of Batman. There's too much grit, too much, gritty realism in films these days. While realism does have its place, it's in documentaries. Films are supposed to be to escape reality, but that's just my opinion. I know people who like it when it's more historically accurate, but the historical accuracy of this one, I call into question. Family friendly? No, it's Ridley Scott. While there's nothing in there that's extremely gory, like literally no guts or anything like that, there's plenty of blood, plenty of violence, and like I said, the skin, we could do without that. So, the scoring for Ridley Scott's 2010 Robin Hood. The story, like I said, is my least favorite version of Robin Hood, so I give the story a 7.5 out of 10. It was also kind of generic, and saying Robin Hood may have had a part in Magna Carta, which of course Prince John eventually rejected. No, Magna Carta was not around until, gosh, what was it, 16 years after King Richard was dead, and this condensed it to just like several months. No. The acting was pretty good. Russell Crowe is a pretty good actor. To me, the real stars of this particular movie were Max von Sydow and Cate Blanchett. They really nailed their characters. So I'm going to give the acting an 8 out of 10. The script, it was good but not great. About average for modern scripts. It wasn't completely littered with swear words. The only swear words that were used were accurate to the time. So it's a 7.5 out of 10. The humor, there was hardly any. There wasn't enough fun in this. I mean, there were a couple of good moments, mostly with Friar Tuck. By the way, friars weren't around until later in the Middle Ages. Yeah, like I said, the historical accuracy of this thing I call into question. But I'm talking about the humor now, so I give the humor a 7 out of 10. Music, it was just generic movie music. Nothing remarkable. I can't even remember the main theme except for what I guess is sort of Marion's theme, sort of a sad, wistful vocal piece. But it wasn't anything remarkable, so I'd give the music a 7 out of 10. Finally, cinematography. I like it the most in this film. It's got some really good shots, some nice angles, some kind of innovative, like the ones underwater, the sort of legs kicking when the French are coming ashore. I would give the cinematography an 8.5 out of 10. Giving the 2010 Ridley Scott version of Robin Hood a Clumsy Jedi final score, boy this is a mouthful, of 7.5 out of 10. It's a decent movie, but not great. It could have been much better. So there you have it. Tomorrow I'm going to be reviewing the 1991 version of Robin Hood, which is Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves. That one's got its own set of problems, which I will go into when I get to that review. Anyway, that's all for today, so until next time, this is the Clumsy Jedi signing off. Bye guys!